Hi everyone, I have seen a lot of enthusiastic people with interesting projects using microcontrollers, Arduino, and industrial control systems. Many of these projects are done in Python or C++. However, when it comes to visualizing the data on a graphical interface, they encounter many limitations. In this case, there are many development environments to realize the projects, as well as different operating systems. In this case, I want to show you how to make this type of simple, functional and practical applications, using the Qt framework. In the particular case, and for ease of use, I will develop it using Qt 5 in Windows version and using C++. However, this works the same on Linux. Why I use Qt 5 and not Qt 6, there are several reasons. 1. Qt 5 is compatible with 32-bit systems, and nowadays many embedded systems work this way. 2. I like to use very stable applications and that are as much as possible contained in a local file downloaded beforehand. 3. And last but not least, for ease of installation of the Qt development environment, since it is aimed at people with little experience. So let's get down to work. For this tutorial, we will use an Arduino Uno. We will communicate by serial port, and to do signal plotting we will use an external library called CustomPlot. Steps to follow. 1. Download the installer file for Windows with Todd the installation package. 2. Open a Qt account. 3. Download the CustomPlot plotting library. This installation works from Windows 7 to Windows 11. There are also similar files for those who prefer Linux. That would be another tutorial. For now, let's focus on the enthusiast. We Google the framework installer file for Windows, which is stored on the Qt servers. While this is happening, you can create an account to use Qt. It is totally free. Open the installer and simply select all the option boxes contained for the development environment. Then go to CustomPlot and download the library. Now with all this ready, we will build our project. Once installed, we open the creator, we create a new project, we define the name and the path where we will store it. It is important that it differs from the other documents of our PC. We leave the default boxes, and finally we generate the project. In the part of kits, we select 32 or 64 bits according to the case. For Windows 11 we choose Mink 36 bits. Now we build the project and we observe an empty window. If we have reached this point, it means that the installation has been successful. Now I will add some elements to the main window, a text label, a dial, a display, and finally a progress bar. It is important to learn how to manipulate the elements using CSS styles. This will make it more pleasing to the eye. We organize the elements and distribute them horizontally, so they will occupy the total area of the window. By using the signals and slots of the elements, I connect the dial with the progress bar and the display. Any change in the value of the dial will modify the value of the display and the progress bar. It is possible to do this inside the main code if this value comes from an external device, but in this case the process is done inside the GUI. The window now shows the elements with the implementations made. So far we have not put a single line of code in the main file. Now let's proceed to download the library to guarantee CustomPlot. We download the file .tar.gz. We must make the decompression until we get to the two files called CustomPlot. Copy these files. And we put them together with the rest of the files of our project. Do not forget the installation path. Now we will give to the project to include these files. We must not overlook to add in our project file the print support recommended by the library installation. We build the project and we should see the window without problem. Finally, we add the serial port library. And again we build the project. Now we can say that we have everything we need installed. And finally we are going to make use of the library QCustomPlot. I will insert a widget type element in the upper part of the text box. Open the contextual menu of the widget and select the option Promote TO. A window opens. Fill in the promoted class name field with the name of the library. It is important to take into account the size of each letter. The header field is auto-completed. We click on the option Add. The name of the element QCustomPlot appears in the Q widget. Click on the checkbox and click on the Promote button. Finally, we save and build the project. The window opens and shows us an empty plotting area. If we have arrived here, it means that we already have everything we need to make use of the serial port and the QCustomPlot library to plot data coming from an external device. We can say that the installation has been successful.